the construction workers saw drawings of firemen, like, we gotta protect this. So they would put, some of them put fiberglass over the tape, some of them took spray paint and filled them in, which is pretty cool. There was one on J Street, on a graffiti doing that lasted for like 4 or 5 years. So, but long gone.
I got a question that just has occurred to me, but I've never asked you, which is, we now have a movie, and you guys are very, doing a lot of public temporary art, and now there's this movie that like sort of enshrines it for, for a long time. And how does that feel for you guys? Just now, this stuff that was for you very temporary or private, and now it's in a movie.
It's just weird. Like this, all this stuff. It's like the footage from the mall was never meant to be seen by anybody. So it's very odd to have an audience view it, because it was done in a like more of a voyeuristic style. Like we're having very intimate conversations with each other. I think Jeremy said that in 25 hours of footage, none of us ever look at the camera. So we're never, there's no mugging, there's no performing, we're just living our lives. The September 11th stuff, it's odd because we spent 5 years.
So much of the time was that.
Yeah, tens of thousands of hours combined working on this September 11th Hope Memorial website.
There was a web page and podcast for every single drawing documenting it. So it was a lot of work.
Massive effort.
But also I feel like nostalgic about it, obviously. It's been long enough. It's like, I think everyone is starting to feel nostalgia for that time period.
Yep.
And it's just such a unique time period where we had access to cameras to be able to record ourselves, but it was weird. Now everybody records themselves a lot of the time. But it was weird for us to do that, and it was definitely not with the intent of posting it anywhere, which is also strange.
That's interesting.
So it's weird. All right. Let's go all the way at the top.
How come the website doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah.
Also, what happened with the tunnel? How did that get?
All right, so the website was 5,000 pages deep and built on a database that didn't survive the evolution of the internet. And since we basically funded the whole thing to make it happen, as soon as it started to slip and break, we had to just take it down because we couldn't get it going again. That said, the 25th anniversary is coming up, and we're hoping, praying that someone in one of the audiences will have a connect that will allow us a space to show all that documentation. The tunnel, they built condominiums on top of that tunnel space. And it's the ones near the train station. And so at one point early in the construction, they sent a crew down just to clear it out. So they just went out and just unmerciful. They just ripped it all out, put it in a pile, and demolished it. You can't have the condos. It makes sense. So,
let's go right here. 25 hours is a lot of video. Like, what was it like as a director sorting through that? But also, who was archiving that? That's a lot of hard drive space at the time.
So he's asking about the 25 hours, like how did we go through it, how did we archive it? It was a lot of footage, and it was also very low res. You probably saw that on screen. That camera that they were using, it was like $100 camera that you guys have. And it was, for those technical here, it was 320 by 240, 10 frames a second. So
the whole thing fit on a thumb drive.
yeah. I mean, it's like worse than a VHS tape, much worse. So there was a moment when we were making the film when me and our team, I was like, I don't know if this movie is even releasable because the footage was so bad in terms of the quality. But it's a reminder, right? It's a reminder that it doesn't really matter because what comes through is how awesome the stuff that they got and what they captured and the coverage, and not just of the secret apartment, but also them going into the hospitals and Michael's tunnel project and the 9/11 project. They had accumulated so much good material. So it sort of made my job really easy. And in some ways we, as you just saw, sort of sculpted the movie so that that footage was kind of the spine that kind of drove the whole movie. But then we'd sort of oscillate off of that into all these sort of different story tangents that kind of were related and connected. So that was always the intention from the get-go, right when I knew I wanted to make this movie. Sure. Let's go up here front, and then I'll come back.
Hi. First of all, thank you for doing this because amazing documentary. Congratulations. And what was probably the scariest time that you've had an encounter with the police? Because that part of the documentary was really funny. Like when you you talked your way out of that, but was there any other times that you guys like almost got like?
Was there other security
Yeah.
interactions?
Yeah.
So with the September 11th project, we drew on 500 buildings in Manhattan without permission.
Oh, that's.
So we
Wow.
got to watch the evolution of the police's attitude towards our project over a 5-year arc. The first 2 years, pretty cool. They would see us drawing a fireman, see the silhouette and be like, all right, okay, I'm okay with this. But as time went on, less and less cool. I don't know if this helped answer the question. at all,
No, I'm just interested.
Yeah, the apartment, we, outside of that one interaction, which is miraculously caught on film,
Yeah.
we are like, Godfrey, we're just ghosts in the night.
That is great. That is amazing. Stealth.
Ninjas? I don't know.
Yeah, very stealth. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Over there, in the jacket.
Who are your filmmaking inspirations?
Filmmaking inspirations. You know, I've done, this is my kind of fifth feature, and this is probably, you know, a lot of them are kind of more ride-alongs, I guess you would say, observational. This is the first one that I used a lot of like archival. That doesn't answer this question at all, but I think what was interesting about this film, unlike other documentaries that I've made, was that I was thinking a lot about fiction films and scripted films as far as inspiration for this. So I was thinking a lot about, obviously, like heist films and this sort of thing. But also, I think my biggest inspiration, and again, I know this isn't your question, but my biggest inspiration for this film was Ferris Bueller's Day.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So I was like sort of coming at it from a different place. I think, you know, I have a lot of inspirations. I think I see a lot of movies, and I think that my attitude a lot with documentaries is to kind of look at scripted films and really try to think about the journey of an audience and the experience of an audience. So yeah, probably a lot, but I'd love to talk to you after about some specific ones stuff. Yeah, right in the front row.
How did this film come about? How did you connect? What was the genesis of all this?
This, you know, I am not from Providence. I had been to Providence, but I'm not from here. And I met Michael randomly in Athens, Greece. I was filming, which is so random, like totally just scripted that. And I was filming for another movie, and the building that I was filming in was covered in incredible tape art. And obviously that was Michael and his tape art partner, Leah, and
And the building was glass.
yeah.
So I'd be taping and looking in and seeing him shooting another film.
Yeah.
So I met him as a filmmaker. Like
That's
in
awesome.
right.
Yeah, and I met you as an artist, both of which I think is really important because I didn't meet Michael as like a crazy guy that's nothing to the ball, an artist, and he met me as somebody who was like actively making movies, and I think that was also really important for both of us. I didn't know that a lot of you guys had turned down a number of directors, so I was naive, and I just really went after it and made a sort of a pitch that I could do this story justice.
Well done.
Yeah,
Nice.
when we were all sort of like talking through whether or not we wanted to do this and
Yeah.
thinking about these, like over many years we had other people approach with different visions of the story, be it like scripted stuff or other documentaries or whatever. Jeremy's pitch, the pro that he is, really felt collaborative. Like he really wanted to work with us to create something that would like bring in a new audience or an older audience who's familiar with the story back into it in like a special new way. So it felt very collaborative. It didn't feel like he just took something from us and did something else with it, and that was really important.
And like to echo that, like that's why I was so excited to involve Colin, like sort of, you know, building the model, right? Because I was so interested in this idea that these guys would almost like be participants in the actual story that they're within, you know, even down to the recreation and Michael's tremendous acting. That
was
all
great.
sort of
That was a
part
great-
of
that
the
was amazing.
idea as well. I think we're gonna probably have just a couple more, and I may run to do Q&A, but let me, oh yeah, she's very eager, and then I'll get you in the hat after. Yeah, so patient.
I was just, we care about Providence and the Providence place mall, sort of, I guess. Very special that we're here. How is it landing outside of Providence and with other audiences?
Well, I'll first just talk about that, and then I'm sure you guys could say some about our connection to this mall. But yeah, we've had a really tremendous last year. I know a number of people wanted to see it in Providence, and we always knew that we had a big idea, and the big idea was to play here. So that was always in our attention, and that's why it sort of dragged out for so long. And then once we knew that this could happen, we really made a huge effort to start our theatrical release here. And we're releasing in a lot of cities, and it's all happening in the next few weeks. So tell your friends. And word of mouth is so important for documentaries. It's very hard for people, outside of Providence who just maybe wouldn't know about this story. We're releasing everywhere from Boston, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Kansas City, lots of others. Philadelphia, Chicago, just, a lot of theaters. And a lot of them are Alamo Draft Houses and even at malls, and a lot of theaters in Rhode Island as well.
And then to your question,
Yeah, the mall.
This film had a year on the film festival circuit, so I got to travel around with him, seeing the reactions of different audiences, and the themes in this story are universal enough that every city, there was always people coming up afterwards and being like, we had the same issue here. Everyone has the same issue, that they're losing spaces for artists to live and work, and they were excited that this at least modeled ideas about taking action of some kind. You don't necessarily want to do this, but it's a nice sort of illustration that even in this sort of the most frustrating of times, there are some paths you can take to sort of either find peace for yourself or to call attention to the issue. I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah.
And also thinking about this building, which is currently going on some hard times, I think there's opportunities to discuss like what a giant mega building in the middle of a downtown city could be for, in addition to consumerism. So they're working on it. They're interested, and they want to figure it out because this is the future of our downtown.
All right, we're gonna do one more question. And why don't we do?
So I feel like a couple years after this all came out, there was an installation downtown that was a recreation. Was that you guys or was that somebody else?
That was us.
That was us.
Nice.
That was Elizabeth Klein. She recognized that we would walk away from the story and not share it with anybody. And she's like, whoa, guys, share, please. So that was the one installation where we sort of like took some of the ideas, the headier ideas about why we were here, put them in that storefront downtown, and then we walked away again. And it's been, we haven't promoted it at all until this guy came along.
So thanks again so much for coming.
Woo!
That guy there has it. We made something for you. You were the first audience to buy tickets quickly. I made a cardboard reproduction of the key for the apartment.
Yeah.
The actual key. Yes, it's the
Bring him
actual
on the
key.
way out. Hand you a key if you all want to put your hand out and put your hand.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Woo! Woo! Sorry, I had to. That was great. Dude, I want a key. Let's go find the apartment and get in. That was awesome. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, you're awesome, man. Oh yeah, maybe give it a minute. I think. Yeah, this might be a little difficult.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, I'll be good. Alright, I'm gonna go shake his hand real quick. Thank you again, Michael. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I saw you in Boston, both of you guys. And yeah, it was. Dude, I got my friends to come because they are awesome. So that was great. Love the. Yeah, thank you, and I love the little setup you guys got up there. So thank you guys. Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh yeah. Thank you. Good. You're sitting right next to my friend Ashley right there.
That was so cool.
Yeah, set up information.
Yeah,
And that honestly inspired me too to keep on wanting to do like, oh, I want
yeah,
Yeah.
that was great.
See the most beautiful spaces. And there's gotta be like, this is always
Thank you,
like,
buddy.
how
Thank
they
you so much. It was great. It was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Great job with that. Amazing. No problem.
Oh, hit the ride.
That was great. That was great. Thank you, man. Appreciate it again. If you guys are releasing this like nationwide, I'm probably gonna see it this week. Like I don't even mind it because I absolutely love this. This was so well made.
It's gonna be like all over. If you go to their Instagram, the Secret Mall Apartment.
Okay, yeah.
They keep adding
Showtime.
If you have friends about the city, let them know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think this was like
I
kind
added Kansas City early on. I'm like, Kansas City, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, why not? Yeah. So thank you.
They're doing big city stuff, so.
I wanted to go to when you guys did it in Newport. 'Cause I heard that was big. I saw photos of it. Yeah. But then when I heard it was coming to here, we had to go.
This was,
it was a must.
I'm glad you saw the 650. To me,
Yeah,
this is like the
exactly.
opening of the whole thing.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Great.
Congratulations on the band, dude. And everything. Congratulations on the film.
If we are in the same audience again, like,
I would love to.
shout out.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Nice to meet you guys.
Good to meet you guys. Good seeing
See you guys.
Michael's girlfriend used to work on the battleship. Yeah.
Stole line. I know. Yeah, I did. I want to try that after. I just wanted to say that. That was kind of exciting. I know. But that's if they have. They probably have enough people.
Are you still with the battleship? Yeah, get a photo. Oh, you're okay. All right. We want to break here.
I know.
I'll be out of town. Yeah, do you know me? I'm gonna do the little scan so you can tickets. Oh, you know, because I'm missing
Becoming a professor could do that. Probably. See.
Because they were like, all these citations were you.
That's so cool. Okay, so this was Secret Mall Apartment. I couldn't talk during it, but that guy down there, he just got unbanned from this mall after living in it for 4 years. The movie's excellent. So I highly recommend seeing it. Just came with my friends. I convinced my friends to come. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I recommend it.